Hi, welcome to week 4 of the Marriage Ministry Crash Course. In week 1, we focus on how to get senior leadership on board. In week 2, we focus on how to find the right core team. And last week, we focused on customizing a launch plan. Now it's time for our final week, week 4, create an annual marriage ministry calendar. Look, there are no perfect dates when it comes to putting events and other experiences for married couples on the calendar. There's always going to be something that's competing for your preferred dates. But here are some suggestions to consider as you're planning your calendar. First, remember, the earlier the better. Many marriage ministry leaders are thrilled with their events, but they're disappointed with their attendance. And we find a common theme. These leaders didn't give their church enough lead time. You're not asking for many dates throughout the year, so lock them in early in order to help your audience plan. Next, don't get punched out by the calendar. Common sense suggests we avoid programming events during Christmas, Easter, spring break, and the graduation season. And if you live in the South, don't try to compete with Southeastern Conference football games during the fall. I'm just saying. Every church calendar is different, but there's one thing that holds true for almost every church in countries that celebrate Valentine's Day. On or right before Valentine's Day is the perfect time to have a larger group experience. It's a great opportunity to tell the men in your church that you have their backs by giving them somewhere great to take their wives for this holiday. We don't suggest you put it on the calendar after February the 14th because it's okay for a man to do something a little early for Valentine's Day, but it's not okay for him to do something a little late. Regardless of what you put on the calendar, you may need to experiment. We've seen a little bit of everything succeed and fail. But remember, when you add real value to someone's marriage, they'll be much more likely to schedule around you, again, if they have enough advance warning. Next, I want you to think about marketing and messaging. Marketing and messaging are crucial to your marriage ministry's attendance and success. The church is a noisy place with many different ministries trying to make themselves heard. Here's some ideas to consider as you prepare to get out your very, very important message. First, address your obstacles. Through a survey and random polling, ask couples what would make them more likely to attend a larger group experience, a small group, or going out on a date. While there may be some obstacles specific to your church, here's some that appear to be universal. Men are reluctant to participate. Because of this, we encourage you to consider your programming and your promotion through men's eyes. Next, childcare can be expensive as well as difficult to find, so make all the attempts to solve this problem and watch how it affects your participation. Next, people are busy. When making announcements and writing promotional copy, acknowledge your understanding of life's quick pace, but clearly state that busy marriages become broken marriages if we're not careful. Remind them that the best way to love their children is to have a strong marriage. Next is the "my marriage isn't that bad" mentality. The mindset for many couples is that anything offered for marriages must be for couples in crisis. You must work so hard to change this perception. How? By simply stating in all your messaging that every marriage, whether struggling or surviving or growing, needs intentional deposits so it doesn't get overdrawn. And finally, many people are terrified of therapy. Many people think they're going to be asked to share their marriage problems and then be analyzed by a group of strangers. While some of your programming may include some counseling content, assure them that this is not therapy and they won't be asked to share their issues with anyone. Now, back to your calendar. It's time to put it in print. Most people don't wake up in the morning thinking, I wonder what my church is doing for marriage today. You need to reveal a basic picture of your intentional marriage help plan. If possible, give people a well-designed printed piece that has a clear picture of your simple marriage strategy. This will reveal to couples that you're serious, that you're organized, and you value their time. This strategy also applies to your website, your church calendar, the material at the information table, pre-service graphics, bulletins, and your planned email blast. Basically, whenever you're communicating, reveal the big picture that you've invited couples to be a part of. Did we say website? Many churches drop the ball online. Make sure you update your site with clear and current information so that people within your church and outside of your church know about your marriage ministry. Now, with all this in mind, it's time to take the ministry components you selected last week and insert them into your calendar. Well, this concludes the video portion of the Marriage Ministry Crash Course. But before I let you go, I just want to encourage you with this. If you feel alone in your desire to help marriages through your church, you're not alone in feeling alone. There are church leaders all over the country who feel like they are alone too. That's one of the reasons we keep sending you to our social media channels. We want to provide a place for church leaders to encourage and learn from each other. So whether you're alone or you have a huge team, we know we're all better together. We also want you to know that Married People is here to help you. Thanks again for joining us for the Marriage Ministry Crash Course. We know the marriages of your church will be glad you did.